A common saying is money makes the world go round. Money is everywhere. We see it every day, interact with it, and often live paycheck to paycheck, spending it on pointless items we really aren't going to use. If you're like me, you will want to prepare for your future, retire early, be smart with your money, live a financially independent life. It's a long path, but one everyone can learn. What's going on, everyone? My name is Andy, and I appreciate you taking the time to come and watch this video on the channel, dedicated to taking you on the journey of me bettering myself and teaching you along the way as we learn. If you do want to chat to me elsewhere, I stream on Tuesdays, Thursdays and Sundays, and I'm going to be coming up with different days where we can talk about things like marketing, finances, and how to better yourself as a creator as a whole. If you'd also like to join a part of the family where we've got a full section dedicated to entrepreneurs trying to better themselves, I have a Discord server set up just for that. If you join the server, you click on a role, whatever one you want to be a part of, and I would love to have you there. You also get access to the free business plan that I've made dedicated to content creators trying to better themselves and push themselves a little bit more, giving them clarity within all of this. Technically, we could call this week 3 of the journey to success, of bettering ourselves, of becoming who we want to become. I'm actually thinking about doing maybe monthly updates on everything that I've learned throughout said month to continue to document more on that end rather than thinking of different videos that I can target using this. So today we're actually going to be talking about something many people shy away from, and that's financials. I'm 21 and I am doing my best now to become financially literate after finding out how important it will be for me in the long run. And I want to help you learn what I've learned. Now, before starting this, and I think this is very clear, I'm not an expert. I've not done this for 25 to 40 years of my life. I'm learning as I go along, and this is what this journey is about. So take all of the things that I say at your own risk and at your own understanding. I'm not a professional, I'm just learning as I'm going along. If you look at most young people, they're not very good with their money. Not met many who save their money well or utilize their money to the best of their ability with what they earn. And it's not to say that we can or should not ever treat ourselves with the money that we do earn, but it's to say we can use our money in a lot better ways to be able to do things like retire early, be financially independent, and not have to live paycheck to paycheck. So what's the first thing I suggest you do? Come up with an income statement. If you don't know what an income statement is, don't worry. I've made a free one for you on the Discord. So if you want to get access to it, you can join through there. Click the entrepreneur role, you'll get access to it and you can download it and start setting up. But I'm going to go through it a little bit here. In simple terms, an income statement just lays out your assets and your expenses, and you see where you're at from there. Laying out your income and your expenses is actually a lot more important than people think. And although it might seem a little bit stupid right now, as you can do it on your credit card statement if you like, not enough people do it. And they realize when they look at it and all of their expenses, how much you actually spend on complete crap. This will allow you to see where you can cut down and where you can start to minimize your expenses and make sure you're not spending over what you are earning. Now, as stupid as that sounds, and the complex story of American debt states that 80% of Americans are in debt. Now, if you don't have an income stream at the start, you're probably either too young to get a job or you just can't seem to find one at the moment. And don't worry about that, because the internet does actually offer quite a lot of places where you can earn money, although it might not be that much right from the get-go, because you have to build something like that up over a period of time. What that also means is that you can still learn how to become more financially literate. You just have more time than someone else to do so. So the earlier you become more knowledgeable on that field, the earlier you're going to be able to success and surpass everyone who's earning money once you start to earn. On the screen right now, I'll show you a form or an example of an income statement and what it can kind of look like. And through this, you can see that there is a lot of things that are pointless. It's not to say that getting everything and treating yourself at some points is not important. You always should. But a lot of these things and a lot of these expenses are often way out of our league and we don't even need them. And it makes us waste so much more money than we actually need to spend. And in the long run, it's never going to make any difference. You'll see things like food, clothes, shoes, everything else, upgrades that aren't actually going to change the way you become financially independent, or how to save money when you're younger, or better your money when you're grown up. Your money can work for you, It's going to take some time and probably a lot of patience, but it will happen if you're dedicated to doing so. Looking for places to sort of cut down on or completely cut off on if it is not needed is going to be important here, because the more money you free up, the more income you're going to get to work with, and the more freedom you're kind of going to have to place in different areas. I know for me personally, I never used to do this, so when I had freed up the money to be able to invest and put it in different areas, it made me a lot more confident, and it also made me want to push for more. I'm going to set out 3 different things that you can kind of start doing now, depending on what you're wanting to do and how in depth you want to go with this. The sort of starter one is saving 10% of your income. No matter what you make, you put 10% away, and I'm going to tell you where the best place to potentially put it is, just in a little bit. The second one is the basic one where you're putting 15% of your income away. This is before you've took anything off. Of course, you have to get your expenses low enough that you don't actually have to do that, but the 15% is there. And the third one is the frugal one, where we're talking about 30% plus of savings. It's been said that people who save 6% of their savings is actually really, really good, but you can take this way higher, and it's quite easy to do if you're just smart with your money. Now, if you're in debt, of course, there's a lot of different things that are going to happen here. And this is more so targeted at those who have not got a mortgage, have not got kids, because we don't have those sorts of expenses just yet. Okay, so back to the main topic. We were talking about saving, and I told you that saving more percentage of your income is a lot easier than you'd think, because when you lay out your income statement and you see your pointless expense after pointless expense, you realize there's a lot you can cut back on. And now figuring out with all that income that you're going to save, where's the best place to put it? I'm glad you asked. So let's talk about my experience so far and what has helped me learn a little bit more. First off, learning the stock market. Right, okay, before you run off, and I know it's all numbers and it's crazy and there's too much, there's graphs and everything like that, it's not as hard as people think it is. And I'm not talking about individual businesses. I'm talking about something called a Roth IRA or an ISA in the UK. Now, a Roth IRA or ISA are retirement funds. And if you're 20 now, you might be thinking to yourself, why the hell do I need a retirement fund right now? Trust me, you're going to thank yourself when you're older. The company I would suggest to go with is Vanguard. They've got low fees, they've been running since 1975, and they're a well-trusted company. You invest money into your Roth IRA each year, and the money gets taxed. You choose your level of risk, and you just allow your money to do the rest. When you reach retirement age, you can take all that money out completely tax-free. You will not need to pay for that, unless you take it out earlier on in your retirement age, and there is a fee added onto that. But you can do your research on that. What the Roth IRA basically does is it gives you compound interest, meaning when you invest money into it and it earns interest, that interest goes back into it and it earns you more money as you go along, increasing your money yet again from you doing nothing. The next area of investment is again within the stock market and being low cost mutual funds. Now again, don't panic, it's not as hard as it seems. I'm not going to chuck you with some individual businesses, but I am going to relate you back to Vanguard again. What this means is when you invest in the mutual funds, you're getting a small piece in a lot of different companies, rather than putting all of your eggs in one basket for one company. So let's say for example's sake, we put £100 a month for the next 10 years into a savings account. The average interest rate of a savings account is 0.06%. That means for the next 10 years, if we continue to put £100 a month into that account, we will have a total of £12,035 by the end of it. Or let's say we do the same, but with an index fund or a low-cost mutual fund. We'll say the percentage increase is 7% with an inflation rate of 2%, near enough matching the averages for all of these, and continuing to do that, you're going to have £18,850 in your account. That is an interest growth of 5,700. Now that isn't even taken into consideration what is going to happen within these next 10 years. If you get a job or you start to earn a little bit more money, and let's take £400 a month, for example, when we increase that and do it for 10 years. If you were to do that instead and put in £400 a month, you would end up with a total of £75,000 and the total interest you've earned of nearly £23,000. Now I know what I would rather choose, and I think it's quite obvious. If you are actually interested in trading stocks and using a platform and are in the UK or don't really have the same benefits that American people do, I use Trading 212, and if you actually want a free stock that can be worth up to £100, then be sure to use the link down in the description. When you deposit money into your account, we both are able to get a free stock, which, I mean, free stock, who can complain? The stocks I recommend looking out for this are the S&P 500, the FTSE 100, and the FTSE all around the world. As a quick overview, S&P 500 is the top 500 companies in the world, FTSE 100 is the top 100 companies in the world, and the FTSE all around the world is the 3,100 companies within 47 different countries. Do your research on some of them, see which one works best for you, and I would highly recommend starting that investment. Now, you don't need to understand that right away, and I'll leave you some links down in the comments about how it can maybe help you and how you can learn what they actually are. But if you'd like me to make some more videos on this, let me know in the comments and give me some of your questions that hopefully I could answer, or maybe even learn from someone who's more experienced than I am. We spoke about savings earlier on and why it was better to put it in somewhere where your money's going to work for you. However, that doesn't mean you shouldn't have a safety net. According to Statistica in 2017, 6.5 million UK residents didn't have any cash savings. And a survey conducted on Yahoo Finance suggested that 58% of American residents who responded didn't have more than $1,000 in savings. Now, why is this important? Why is it important to start saving a little bit of your income to make sure you have a safety net? You know how this world works. Not everything is going to go well. You're going to come up with some hiccups. Maybe your car breaks down, maybe something goes on fire, maybe you don't have insurance and you need to pay a hefty fine for something. Who knows? You don't know what this world entails and you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Building that safety net over time is going to help so much, and trying to find the right place to put that money so that you can get it out whenever you want without having to pay fees is super important. Just as a little quick tip for anyone who works in the public sector within the US, you can actually get something called a 403B or a 457, and what it allows you to do is basically have a savings account that makes you money, but you can take it out whenever you want without the usual 10% transaction fee that you need to do before retiring. I'd highly recommend looking into it if you're in the public sector within America. Finally, let's talk about investing in your own business. You know, there's a lot of people out there who are really scared to start their own business and start investing in themselves, but the good thing is that when you're younger, you don't have to take the same financial risks that someone who is older has to. You don't have a house to pay for, you don't have kids to pay for, you don't have the same expenses that they all have. This is the time to make your failures. This is the time to make your financial risks and see what works and see what doesn't, so that when you are into that area, you are into that section, you've already made the rookie mistakes that people who are getting into that are already. Most likely, if you're watching this, you won't be a high earner at the moment. If you are a high earner and you're watching this, thank you, fair play, but it's most likely not going to help you. The best way to learn is to do. So start doing. One of the best pieces of advice that I got was that if all your expenses were covered and you didn't have to worry about money, what was it you would do? It was a great question because it allowed me to think about what my passions actually are within this world of creation. And now this is what I'm striving for, creating things that I want to create and what I'm passionate about. Now, not everyone's going to like it, and it's not going to be everyone's taste, and that's perfectly fine. But I'm doing what makes me passionate, and I know this is going to push me forward to be a better person. I'm hoping someone in the comments corrects me for the things that I've said, so that I can then learn further. This is what I want to do, and this is how I want to learn. If you'd like to see more videos from the channel and watching this journey of me trying to grow and helping you do the exact same, then be sure to hit that subscribe button. I also want to take a quick second to thank all the patrons for supporting me in what I do. You have no idea how much that is helping me, and I'm really looking forward to giving more and more value as time goes on to all of you incredible people. Have a fantastic day.